Hey y'all! I'm back with a new video today about why to make your pocket notebook a ring binder. I want to give you a little tour of my latest everyday carry, this Mini 5. So a Mini 5 just means it's a mini binder with 5 rings. My binder is from MeePlus. They're a Hong Kong-based company that you can order from. This is known as a dupe for the Plotter binder. The Plotter also makes binders in this size. They're known for a metal spine. So first, as a little tour here on the back, this is a 3-in-1 accessory that I also got from MeePlus. And what I really love about this is it has the band to keep your binder closed, like this. And then it has a nice sturdy pen loop. I can actually fit the Uniball 1P in here, and it is pretty much the length of the Mini 5, which is very, very satisfying. And then there is a card slot here. I've used this as my wallet in the past where I carried cards. Lately with Apple Pay, I don't really need to carry many cards around, and it's been winter and I've mostly been inside, so I carry around some sticky notes for reading or for my journals. So one really good reason to use a mini binder is to be able to repurpose and use memo pads. I have a lot of different types of paper in here. And these serve as visual pleasures, really, for me to be able to tab or bookmark different sections, and any reference notes, like these are the house placements of my astrological chart. These can stay in here, and I really just love how they look with these special papers. And so, you know, if you have a lot of really pretty memo pads and want a way to use them, you can get a ring binder and have them as your pocket reference. In terms of how to convert memo pads, or really any of the papers I'm going to talk about today, into the binder, you're going to want a hole punch. The specific one I got is the Bira, and this is a 6-hole punch. And you'll see on the side, there's labels for each size. There's the A5 ring size, A5 ring binder size, A6, pocket mini, so on and so forth. Since this is 6 holes and mine is just 5, I have to measure specifically, let's see, page here. I would put this in just for the top 5 holes and punch it like that. What I really like about this hole punch is that it's flexible for if I get any other ring binders in the future, then I can have all of the different sizes for that as well. But yes, highly recommend getting a hole punch. In terms of writing in this notebook and having a smooth surface to write on, I like to put my version of a pencil board, which is a sized postcard or cardstock. This is from a postcard I got from Oitamart, and then in the back here I have another one. This is a postcard I actually made for my sister's bar, Orion Bar. Because these are on both sides of where I primarily write, I don't really have very many issues writing in it. Another nice reason to experiment with a pocket notebook is that you can repurpose unused pages from notebooks that you have lying around. I have 2 examples of this that I've put in my latest version of the ring binder. One is I used to use a lot of blank pages here, but recently I've really liked to journal on graph paper, and I had this notebook that had really beautiful graph paper, but I don't really like this kind of binding. So I ripped this out and sized it with a paper cutter here. And I was able to get 2 sheets out of this that I have put in here, and I've already started taking a lot of notes. And then in the back, just to not waste paper, there's enough for a like 3/4 size version. I'm going to reserve this space for different quotes that I come across that I might want to reference or that I'm currently inspired by. So this really gives me the satisfaction of not wasting paper and having it all serve a different purpose. And then another use of repurposing pages is actually from this passion planner. This is a planner I used in 2016, so I got this 10 years ago, and I've used it a bunch. It's an undated planner, so I drop in every now and then, and I primarily use this when I want to schedule out my whole day by time. And that's not really a practice that I stick to for very long because it is kind of taxing to, try to execute by time everything you want to do. But every so often I really want to come back and really plan my day and have a clear idea of what I want to do. What I did here was I tore out a bunch of pages in the back of this undated passion planner and I put them in my planner. I've only just started this, but I was able to cut out a page here, and then the back of that page has 2 sections. You see, like Friday and Saturday. I couldn't fit the week header, unfortunately, because it's a very small notebook, but I think I'll just write on the top and then have a clear timeline or kind of schedule of what I want the day to look like. For example, here, as I go along the night before, I'll write down what I want to do based on the time of the day and then check it off as I go. I have about a week or 2 weeks worth in here, and then I wrapped it with the bottom part of this passion planner. This internal space is just for random notes if I happen to need that. And then this outer portion has a personal to-do list and a work to-do list. This is just a running list that I can keep for things that I don't have in my main planner that I can move whenever, I have the time to transfer the notes. So this has been a fun experiment. I'll report back of how it goes. But the key here is that the ring binder allows me to drop in, try this for a week, and if I don't like it, ditch it, and then I don't need to commit to a whole new notebook or system. I can just see how it goes and play it by ear. A previous version of what I did last year that I'm no longer doing was doing daily journaling on these moon pages. For each day, I would track my physical state, emotional state, and then how I felt that I was in alignment with the moon phase that day. And I did these on specific moon memo pages that had the day of how far we were along in the moon phases. I thought that was a really nice way to do some lunar journaling. As you can see, I still have a ton of pages left. I might return to this daily journaling practice someday, but not today. All right, the last most important bit of the pocket notebook, the main reason I wanted to return to this instead of my everyday carry notebook was because I wanted to jot down ideas from things that I was watching or reading or things that I was thinking about. And these are more transient thoughts that I didn't want to commit a whole journal page to. So here I took astrology notes, but I don't often know if I have enough to fill a whole page. And then for this journal, it's kind of one where presentation matters a bit more to me. So I wanted, a free space, especially one that's really easy to carry around and be able to freely take notes and see where the ideas should go. For example, I have some thoughts of stationery I purchased, notes about agentic software, being a homebody in the winter, so on and so forth. And then the most important part of this is to determine where each note should go. For a lot of this, it's to my digital garden notes, which is a topic I'll address in a future video. I have some notes on pocket notebooks, and that's a thing that I transferred to my weeks to make a video about. This homebody winter note could go into my journal, and you'll see some examples of transferring notes out into the journal, taping it in here, or sometimes I'll just tape them to the back so I keep the reference of it with the month or time that I had the journal. Instead of having loose sheets, I actually often just tend to toss them or lose those because I have this other pen with a system of how to move it out of here. That's really what makes the pocket notebook really useful. And the fact that I can actually take this sheet out and clear the slate. I think the main thing I've been using this notebook for is for list making, for taking notes on media, to do some casual writing, to note down anything that I'm fixated on or certain topics that I'm really gravitating towards. And then I do have a section for sketching. So these I have as blank pages in the back, and I did a bit of drawing here. So it really serves as a very free-form place to have different needs and to differentiate them by the types of paper that I'm using. I hope this video inspired you to maybe try out a ring binder as your pocket notebook, and I'll be sure to provide an update of how this system is going in a future video. Thanks so much. Bye.